The finance minister announced big changes in the GST rates which will have significant impacts in various sectors. In this video, we are going to focus on the two-wheeler industry. For Indian bikers, there is good news and bad news, but we will start this video on a positive note. The big news is that GST rates for two-wheelers has been slashed from 28% to 18% for motorcycles and scooters under 350cc. For many years, manufacturers has been requesting the government to reduce the tax slab to 18% for two-wheelers under 125cc, but the government has taken one step higher and reduced taxes up to 350cc. Now, this policy will have a huge impact because 98% of the two-wheelers sold fall under this bracket, and we can see the two-wheeler industry witnessing a massive bump in terms of sales. In fact, we think during this festive season, we could see record sales happening because sentiments of buyers will improve, and we hope that the sales come back to the pre-COVID levels because the two-wheeler industry has been suffering. So as you can see, this could have a very big impact on the two-wheeler industry, and these are the changes in pricing for the popular two-wheelers on your list. However, on the flip side, GST has been increased from 28% to 40% for two-wheelers above 350cc, which we think is very steep. I would like to remind our viewers that the GST rate wasn't 28% because there was a 3% cess added. So on paper, it might look like a 12% hike, but in reality, that's a 9% hike. But overall, this is a big jump in terms of tax structure for motorcycles above 350cc, and this could affect sales in this industry. And if you're planning to buy a KTM 390 Duke, a Royal Enfield Himalayan 450 or the 650 Twins, or even the Triumph 400 family or a big motorcycle, you will have to rework your finances because the impact on the pricing will be on the higher side. Personally, I think the tax structure should have been different. Maybe for 350 to 500cc motorcycle, the current tax structure of 28% should have been maintained because India is emerging as the hub for sub 500cc motorcycles. The mid-capacity motorcycle segment is witnessing a lot of action, and a lot of brands are investing in India. Aprilia has the 457 family over here. BMW will be getting the 450 platform in India. KTM is already developing the twin-cylinder 490 platform. So you can see there is a lot of action happening in this segment, and also for the Indian bikers who have aspirations of getting up into the mid-capacity displacement, this comes as a crude shock. So while India will continue to manufacture mid-capacity motorcycles and will be exporting, but when it comes to domestic sales, the hike in GST rate would impact the sales. And this is what we think will be the price revision for popular motorcycles in the 350cc and above category. So overall, this is good news for the two-wheeler industry because 98% of the market falls under this new tax structure. This will help revive sales. This will be good news for the two-wheeler industry, not only the manufacturers, but also the ancillaries. And this will help getting the sales momentum going, which has been a bit slacking over the past few years. Having said that, we think the 350 to 500cc category should have had a separate tax slab because, again, as aspiration, as for enthusiasts, this is a segment that they were looking forward to in terms of upgrading their two-wheelers. So a lot of bikers might have to, postpone their purchase or, rework their finances, which will have an impact on their wallet. So overall, this is positive news for the entire industry because of the reduction in the GST charge, not only for manufacturers, but also for ancillary manufacturers. This comes as a good news. Having said that, as I mentioned before, for enthusiasts, this doesn't come as a good news because the 40% GST tax slab is very expensive, which will kind of, they'll have to postpone their purchase or rework their finances. So yes, it is good and bad, but overall this is a very good news for the entire two-wheeler industry. Having said that, there are two concerns for me on a personal level. We'll have to wait and watch whether or not the manufacturers will pass on the entire benefit to the consumers, or they will rework the ex-showroom pricing of their products. The second aspect is that this GST is coming from the center, but on the state level, the state government might see this as an opportunity to increase the road tax, because they can get more revenue. As you can see, there are still some confusions. We'll get more clarity on this on September 22nd when the new GST slab comes into effect. But overall, I think this is a great move by the government, and this should help the two-wheeler industry in improving its sales. So what's your take on the new GST slab from the government? Do you agree or not with me for the 350 to 500cc tax slab? And what's your take on the overall GST implications in the industry? Do let us know in the comments. And if you have any queries, please write to us in the comment section and we will try to answer you. As always, thank you for watching. Ride safe and stay safe.